Hollow Knight is a masterpiece, but not the kind you'd think it is. Silksong just got announced, so I decided to make a video about Hollow Knight and how it is a masterpiece. Or is it? Oh yeah, and also tell a story about how I, myself, fell in love with it after playing it for 5 years without it being my favorite game, not even close. As a community, we can't really argue that Hollow Knight is a masterpiece, but it also kinda sucks actually, especially in the early game. First of all, what's wrong with these base keyboard controls? But you can change them anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. The locations in the early game are pretty boring, and I would even say mid. Don't get me wrong, the crossroads are a decent introduction with routes to many other locations, but its palette is grey and it's not that entertaining for new players who don't know how to explore and what kind of pace the game has. And next locations don't really make it better. Green Path is also kind of dull and not very full of things. Fungal Wastes, I'd say it's better, but not as much as the next location. Before that, let's get more into the bad things in the early game. Next thing is actually being lost. Again, don't get me wrong, being lost is great and it's might be one of the best experiences that Hollow Knight has, but as a new player who doesn't know anything about the lore, about the pace of the game, about the things that happen here in this world, in Hollow Nest, you don't really enjoy it and just try to get on track as fast as possible, thinking that you're bad at the game. But you're actually not. Coming out of being lost, there is a problem with some routing and the non-existent guiding. Let's look at the map. You just obtained your Mantis Claw, and now it's time to go. But you notice a lever and start going down to fight Mantis Lords. Beautiful boss, by the way. Now that you've fought them, you can either go back and enter the City of Tears, the best location in the game, or go to the left into Deep Nest. It might seem like Deep Nest is the intended option, but it's really not. It makes you go through a hard trip for the tram ticket, and then you have to walk through other late game locations, not being able to do anything at this point of progression. Then you climb out, right into the City of Tears, where you could go from the beginning. I want to make it clear that I think that Deep Nest is still a very, very great route to have for more experienced players, but not the first timers. Then there is Dreamnail being on the outskirts of the map problem. Just why? It is one of the most important items in the game. Why would you put it there? Why wouldn't you put it in the center of the map where most of the people would find it easily? And maybe then you would get teleported, transported to the resting grounds. Quill should be given along with the map, given how crucial it is. It's not even a debate. Lumafly Lantern, although it's not as important as Quill in my opinion, still should be less complicated to find. It might sound like I'm hating on the game, but all of these can be bypassed by a controllable dose of guides, or even better, exploring every corner of the map, like I did. They also don't take away the beautiful art and music, and actual exploration of Hollow Knight that hopefully can fill you with enough determination to go further. To the lore breakpoint, the mid and late game. City of Tears, everybody. Arguably the best location in the entire game, and also the breaking point of no return. Here, some people finally decide that they're gonna beat the game. Here, you start to realize the importance of the night and the dreamers. And here, you also meet the soul guys, but let's not talk about them. Looking back, it's so great you quickly forget the gates closed behind you. The moment where you sit on the bench with Quirrell, with the melancholic music in the background, and the raining city through the window, is a really good start for this location. Most importantly, you are not a stranger to this world anymore. Maybe you don't have any actual thoughts on it, but you understand how great the kingdom was, and you feel more familiar with the characters. Like talking with Hornet that you thought was hostile, and once again, Quirrell the goat. The atmosphere is so great, I try to find real life places that are similar, but never succeed. And just like that, you continue playing the game. I wouldn't say it becomes better, but now it has more meaning to you, the player. You get the Dream Nail and the Dreamers themselves after getting some more upgrades, of course, and you finish the game. The ending is pretty good, but not exactly clear. You feel proud of yourself. But there's more. Way more. It's time for the Endgame. Whoa! Though I wouldn't call it an actual endgame until you defeat Radiance, so let's work towards that. If you don't have Shadow Dash by that point, you take a detour of exploring in the right and bottom parts of the map, but you probably do, so now you visit the White Palace. This place reeks parkour, and that's what you do. Then you go to Queen's Gardens and kill Traitor Lord, hating the backtracking you have to do each time you die. Unless you are smart and set up a dream gate right near the arena, like me. Long story short, you get the Void Heart and fight the Radiance. Or if you're like me, you quit the game for a year because you're not able to beat the Radiance. Ah, yes, while doing all that, you also complete the Grim Troop side quest and fight one of the best bosses of the entire game, period. Don't tell me you chose the other route, where you don't get to fight him. Or I'll find you. You get to enjoy exploring the last bits of the world and collecting every charm. You probably already got all the grabs, since despite being annoying collectibles, they actually have an in-game map, unlike other games. You can also hunt down the last enemies to finish your Hunter's Journal and go to Pantheons, meeting the best and the worst bosses at the same time, finish Colosseum of Fools, complete the secret path of pain, theorize about game's lore, speedrun it for an achievement, and lastly, beat Pantheon of Hallownest to finish the long journey. Now, did you notice how many things there is to do after you've already finished the game? Hollow Knight is a deep dive. Boring and slow? I say melancholic, timeless, and not for everyone. With handmade art and classical music tying the complicated journey through Hallownest from the beginning to the end. With many flaws on the surface that fade out the more you play. In the end, it is truly a masterpiece. And what about my story? Well, it's my first time making such a big thing, and I kinda thought it would be easier. So I'll tell it sometimes later. A tale about 11-year-old me versus Hollow Knight. Subscribe to not miss it. Now that is the end. I thought I could do better in terms of quality, but it seems like my talent is not good enough. Who would have thought?